Yo, what is good, everybody? Welcome to another trade recap. Today is June 24th. I did take one trade today. It was a loss. Let's get right into it. So coming into this morning, I was leaning more bullish on the higher time frames due to the war news. Everyone supposedly ceasefired. And on top of that, we had a unfilled 4-hour down here with Asian lows, and there was also another 15. I think, yeah, this is the unfilled 15-minute right here. So when we opened up, or pre-market, price was accumulating. I wanted to see price manipulate lower towards these general draws on liquidity, and then rip up to target London highs as a take profit. Or I was also fine with accumulating, manipulating higher towards London highs, and then coming down towards these unfilled 4 hours with Asian lows, and then this also unfilled 15-minute gap right here. However, when market opened, all we did was rip up. When we did rip up, though, we left an unfilled 15-minute, and we also left an unfilled hourly right here. So that was my take profit area for my trade I took. We'll get into that in a second. So as we swept London highs, we reswept the internal highs that were created, and then we were also inside of a daily fair value gap over here. And then there was also a 4-hour fair value gap as well. So my thought process was, okay, we accumulated, we manipulated way the fuck up here, crossing out London highs, right? Reswept these internal highs that were created. And then we had an unfilled 5-minute. That was going to be my break-even point. I entered off a 2-minute inversion. And my break-even point was this unfilled 5-minute. Unfortunately, I got edged by I think it was 1 point. Yeah, literally 1 point. And it actually caused me to lose this trade. But you know, it is what it is. It wasn't the best of trades at all. After me looking back on it and journaling it, I definitely could have just stayed out the market, especially because with how conditions were today. They weren't terrible, but they weren't probable. As you can see, pre-market and market open, we were just accumulating. And then we manipulated all the way up higher past London highs, but we didn't get no reaction past London highs, and I should have realized that. However, I kind of hurt my own self because I was married to the short bias once we took out London highs. There was, I believe, one long somewhere in here. It was like a 30-second inversion long, but I was not comfortable with that whatsoever. We are severely overbought even on the higher time frame. If you come here, just take a look. We have an unfilled 4-hour right here and another unfilled 4-hour right here. Drop down on the hourly, the same thing. No, unfilled hourly right here, unfilled hourly right here. We were just severely overbought. I wanted to see price invert maybe like a 5 or 15-minute gap, so we can target these general areas as take profits. However, we didn't end up getting that. Price just ripped up and then continued to chop for the rest of the day. With that being said, the moral of the story is basically just look at market conditions. If they're not probable, which they really weren't today, right? It's just wick central everywhere. Just stay out the market. I ended up getting into a trade today thinking I was going to make some money, right? And it ended up costing me, I think, like $220 across like 18 accounts. So add that up, that's like $4,000. So not the proudest trade I've took, not the smartest trade I've took, but also not the dumbest, right? Got to look at it both ways. Our take profits were this sell side liquidity right here, and then we had this unfilled hourly with another unfilled 15 minutes. So it was a good draw on liquidity. However, conditions just weren't in our favor today. It is what it is, but we'll be back tomorrow. As for the trade recap, that is it. And I'll be back at, I believe, 9:20 in the morning tomorrow with the daily bias. For the YouTube, if you guys haven't already, I have a free Discord, LoeGpa. I'll leave the link in the description to join it. Also, follow me on TikTok, same thing, LoeGpa. And then right now, my Instagram is not Twilight. However, I will be changing the username soon as it lets me. I think it told me to wait like 14 days. So there's my socials right there. I'll also leave a link to everything in the description. And that'll be all.